What's going on, guys? This is Burrs. I have a video here for you today showing you how to replace the hammer spring. Some people also call it the mainspring. First things first, to get started here, we're going to clear the weapon. So we're going to have the magazine out and use gravity as your friend. And as you can see, there's nothing in there. Alright, so what we're going to get started with is replacing the hammer spring. This is a 19-pound one. I'm going to do a little upgrade here, put a 19-pound one in there. 23 pounds, around the 23-pound mark. 23 pounds is the stock 1911 poundage for the hammer spring. So to get started here, you're going to have to go ahead, I usually get like a roll of tape somewhat, and you're going to have to bang out this mainspring pin. Stop pin is what I would call it. This is just a regular old punch of some sort. Roll pins do the best by far, but you can get away with improvising. You just want to put it there and start banging on it there. You'll see it come out the other side, like such. You want to keep pressure on this when you're about to take this all the way out, because this is going to go flying. It is under pressure. So I go ahead and put my thumb in there, and then I'll push it the rest of the way out. And there's a little bit of pressure there. Now before that gets too complicated, what I do recommend is putting on a little strap around the grip safety. Now in my case, I actually just have a piece of tape here. You can also use that. You want to depress the grip safety and make sure that it stays depressed when you're putting this tape on. Or you can use a rubber band or anything like that as well. Just want to keep that pressure on there. Alright, so we're done with this at the moment. You can go ahead and slide down your mainspring housing that holds the hammer spring, which is inside of here. Now to get to that, there is a pin right there. And what you're going to want to do is push that pin out from the opposite side here while holding down pressure. It can be tricky, but what I do is I hold this down like such, and then I'll push out. I just use like an Allen wrench or something like that. It'll work fine. Alright, so I have that out, and now that this is holding it basically in, I'll just go ahead and pull that out while holding the hammer spring, which will come out. And there's the top and bottom of the hammer spring, the old one. We'll go ahead and take that off, and then we'll go ahead and put the new one on there. Now when you look at the recoil, what's the recoil spring? When you look at the spring, it shouldn't matter for this part because both sides of the spring looks identical. So there's the new one installed. And then what you want to do is just reverse of what you did. And I usually get this started. And you got to be careful with that. It's hard to look through the viewfinder and do this at the same time. So yeah, we'll just do the same thing. Push down on the spring and then push through the side again. Make sure that's flush. If it's not, you can go ahead and just give it a little bit of a push. To make sure it's flush, because that will get in the way. At that point, what you want to do is go ahead and slide it back on to your frame. So once you get to that point, what you want to do is go ahead and make sure that this hammer strut is up and inside the channel for the mainspring housing, so that you can get the spring. There we go. right? And at that point, you want to go ahead and take your retaining pin for your mainspring housing, and push down on the mainspring housing while pushing in on the retainer here. And once you get that going, you can go ahead and just push it in. Like such. Make sure it's nice and flush, both sides. You can take the tape off, or your rubber band, whatever you were using. And go ahead and test it out. At this point, you want to test everything out. Safety. The thumb safety is on, so we're going to go ahead and test that out. And the grip safety. Everything is working out very well. And what that's going to do is give you a little bit of, it's going to reduce the power to bring the hammer back, basically. So you're going from 23 pounds to 19 pounds. So a good setup, usually using a heavier firing pin spring, and the 19-pound hammer spring is a upgrade that a lot of people like to do. They like the feel of it, and we'll see how it works out for me. I've been running the 23 and 22 pounders in this one, so we'll see what happens there. Again, this is the bulletproof, I'm not saying bulletproof, but this is the hammer spring, 19-pound from Wilson Combat. Usually their stuff's a little bit on the heavy side on the springs, but they tend to work in, they start out heavy and they work themselves into the poundage that they supposedly are. Which this one's 19. So if you do get it and you see, oh man, it's a little heavy, like the recoil springs, don't worry about that, because it'll break into that that range of poundage. So if you guys got any questions on replacing your hammer spring, go ahead and put it down there or PM me. If you guys have any comments or video responses, go ahead and put them down there. And until next time, later.